Lord von Valancius, we are most delighted to welcome you as our guest. Would your lordship prefer to speak to the governor alone or with the entourage? I think we did a save. We already had that talk, right? Let's load this. No, apparently it remembers this at least. I want to speak to the governor alone. Okay, so it seems we have to do this talk again. Tell me about Jonas. Continue. This world was once a wild planet full of xenobeasts and utterly unsuitable for growing anything. To this day, despite our best efforts, Janus regularly rebels against us. Earthquakes, tsunamis, the emerges of new pests and weeds that invade the arable land. Sometimes I cannot help but think that this world is endowed with consciousness, the consciousness of a capricious and stubborn child who likes to spoil everything that we have achieved. What do you grow on, Jonas? Mainly Helican, flint corn, and red turnip. 2 crops on the entire planet. Apart from that, in the southern hemisphere, we have set aside vast tracts of land for the Grox population. And of course, I cannot fail to mention the several thousand acres of tiled land given over to cultivating fermentable fruit for personal use and limited export. Even for an agri-world in the back of beyond, this place is real dump. What do you all do here for fun when you have free time, that is? If you are asking about those of our circle, then let me assure you there are enough noble families on world to keep boredom at bay. I frequently host guests, your lordship, and my servants arrange suitable entertainments, from parlor concerts to private executions of traders who break imperial law. I must take my leave. Okay, so let's see here. Have we gotten any new armors? We're at 30% with main character here. 35, upgrade. Do I have anyone else with that? Yes, we do. 35. He's upgraded as well. What's this, 20? Yeah. A bunch of boots. Yeah, give him some bags. If you can use them, he should have them. Let's see here. We're not going out in the field all empty-handed now, are we? You got bags. You got what you have. Well, let's keep that, it's pretty cool. Alright.
You are outdated and suboptimal. Your body has suffered deterioration and requires modification.
Funnily enough, I've grown rather attached to the old thing. Have patience. Someone will shoot me any minute now, and then you'll have your chance to upgrade me.
That's a interesting way to look at it. We had loot in there. Let's skip that. To the estate. So we're gonna find the sniper person. I think we had a new follower. It looked like the Eldari.
Who would have thought that the lowly Jai Hedari would become part of the rogue trader's retinue? The Exalted One is truly generous.
The path of the Emperor's chosen takes strange twists and turns. But as long as your heart is filled with faith, I welcome you to our ranks.
She was super pissed at first.
The divine watches over us.
Aristocrats. Let's see. Servitor. Got goods over here. Just collect everything. Let's speak to this guy. Greetings, your lordship. Lex Mechanic, Vincelex. How may I serve you? What do you do here on Janus? By the order of the Adeptus Mechanicus, I have been entrusted with the management of the I have been entrusted with the management of the Adeptus Administratum in order to catalog agronomic data and analyze information about the planet during the process of subjugating into the will of the Imperium. Be blessed, tech brother, your diligence and the diligence of those like you turn anarchy into order and bestow classification of knowledge. Tell me about Janus. Initializing report. The planet's soil possesses a unique composition suitable for the re-engineering of the planet and the mass production of foodstuffs. Significant cultivation of the Eastern Hemisphere with the aim of improving production processes and logistic operations. Improving production processes and logistic operations. Traces of xeno activity that do not pose an immediate threat to ongoing operations. The undesirable pathologies of flora and fauna have been noted, which may pose a threat in the short term. What pathogens in the flora and fauna? Genetic and chemical pathologies, your lordship. Harmless species mutate and become aggressive, while plants change their chemical composition and become poisonous. That is happening more and more often, and if no action is taken, the ecosystem of the world will be irreparably disrupted. Their changes may be artificial. Has the possibility been considered that someone is manipulating the ecosystem to reduce our living space? Not at all, Venerable Magos. Our tech comrades from the Magos Biologies are humble workers, not warriors. They could not have come up with a thought of such a militant nature. The mind must be open to all forms of knowledge. I order you to commence a check. In the event that your account of the indolence of their minds is confirmed, I will petition for the appropriate penance. Interesting. It is often what seems to be insignificant anomalies like these that lead to greater troubles. How is the governor dealing with undesirable pathologies? I have analyzed the genome of the affected species, and I am currently developing suppressor genes to make the planet's organism resistant to pathology. But so far I have not been able to solve the problem. Further exploration of the planet would perhaps speed up these processes. But the administrative apparatus has imposed a ban on expeditions that are not directly aimed at improving production. Traces of xeno activity. According to data obtained during the initial survey, ruined structures of non-human origin were noted in different sectors of the planet, but I did not have the administrative capacity to study them in more detail. For now, I must defer the quest of knowledge. Let's talk about something else. How many servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus are there on the planet? According to the data stored in my cognitator, all infrastructure nodes of food harvesting and processing have their own contingent of technomats. The total amounts to 253. Correction, based on latest data. The figure is 211 units. How are things with you and your fellows? The current situation on the planet is assessed as stable. The progress of the prospects is assessed as encouraging. We will speak later, as you wish. Alright. We're seeing no one to talk to over here, so let's get back to it. We got goods here. Pascal, do your thing.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Grabbing all that. So let's see here. Oh, here you go. Irliet. Irliet.
Iliet Lenevis greets you, Elantark.
Regrettable news. This creature is not a mutant as the locals assumed, but a representative of the Eldari, one of the myriad enemies of humanity. You should not trust this creature. Do not communicate with it any longer than necessary.
There is no need to mutilate my language, monkey. I speak yours well enough to converse with Elantark without a translator. And since you have discerned my path, I will be direct in my speech. My soul is nothing kin to yours. Your kind call us Xenos, as if we are all as one. I came here to protect the Lilithon by assisting the governor against her enemies. Will you hear me, or be blinded to sense by your precepts?
Dogmatic. I do not converse with the enemies of humanity. Okay, let's see. I actually like the Eldar, so I don't want to fight with them unless... let's see here. Rogue Trader Von Valancius will never speak to vermin such as Xenos. As also, I will speak with you, Irliet Lana Evis. But keep your hands where I can see them. To be honest, the only part I understood was that you have no desire to fight. This is one thing we have in common.
Reckless.
Must I remind you, Master Van Kalox, that the warrant endows rogue traders with the sacred right to have dealings with Xenos when necessary? That exceptional memory of yours seems to have let you down.
Thank you, Abelard.
I have banished the shadow of doubt from your thoughts regarding my nature. Now you will answer my question. Why have you sought me out?
So you're the governor's mysterious helper.
I am Elantark. My hand parried the death promised to the ruler of these people, and I aided you in battle against the Lost Ones.
Why are you helping the governor?
This world is in distress. I wish to protect it from unnecessary suffering.
What do you know about the rank and file rebels?
Only that they threaten the established order. There is much risk to this world should the ruler die.
Awareness test succeeds. Irliet's face is unreadable, but you detect a strange tension in her voice, as though she is considering her words carefully. Do you know who's behind the uprising on the planet?
There is a malevolence here that drives your kin down the path of violence.
How did you come to be on Janus?
The world you call Janus was once created by the will of my kin. I have far more right to be on the Lilithon than any of you.
Okay. Why do you call me Elantark?
Because that is what you are. Elantark means stranger from the darkness amidst the stars. You descended on flame-winged machines in a dark time when the air of the planet is soaked in blood and pain. Will you be the one to bring peace to the Lilithon?
I spoke to the Magus in charge of operations on the planet. He says something's gone wrong with this world. There are spontaneous mutations, animal attacks. Maybe you have something to say about that?
The Lilithon is expressing her wrath. For centuries, this world has resisted the brutality inflicted upon it by soulless machines and unmindful creatures. But what the machine man told you, that is something else. Something more frightening. The planet is fighting an evil that has taken root in its very cradle.
Your answers are not particularly helpful.
But you are not asking for help, Elantark. You are merely asking questions, the answers to which are either unimportant or wreathed in shadow. Explore this place. Speak to those who know. A simple task for you, and an insurmountable challenge for me, since my very appearance provokes fear and suspicion. When you learn anything, tell me. Perhaps then my answers will be helpful to your search.
If you want, you can join me. None of the locals will dare to look askance at you in the rogue trader's presence.
So be it. I will go with you.
With all due respect, are you sure this is the right decision? We know nothing about this Xenos, or why she has wormed her way into the governor's confidence. As far as I can tell, she isn't especially keen to help us, and yet, for some obviously dark reason, she has decided to take part in our investigation.
My judgments and choices are for me alone, monkey. If uniting with your master will bring peace to the Lilithon, then it is the true path. Do not get in my way if you value your next breath.
And that's a threat.
You have not yet spent enough time among humans, If you think threats will dispose me more favorably toward you, the decision is yours, rogue trader. But let me be clear. I will terminate your pet Xenos at the first sign of her non-compliance.
I am ready, Elantark. Let us go forth.
Iriliet's abilities. Iriliet is a Xenos, one of the Ausuriani. She is a ranger who follows the path of the outcast, and her skill in range combat are without equal. Iriliet does not use human weapons, and can wear either Eldari armor, or if she learns the required feature, Druhari armor. Iriliet's unique ability instantly ends her turn. However, at the start of her next turn, she will make an attack that always hits its target. So Henrik's got away. So the question is, because now we have, she sounds like a shooter. Jay is not much of a fighter, I don't remember. Henrik is the least upgradable guy we got though, so Adabard is definitely our main melee guy, so let's check her out then. She can't use a lot of our stuff here. Then we go to level up. She's an operative. That's maxed out. So let's see here. Assassin. A master at identifying the slightest vulnerable of key targets and dispatching them by any means necessary. Core focus is high damage, dodge, and dodge reduction. Hit and run. Let's go that. We have no assassins, what I remember. Let's see here. Death Whisper. The assassins make an attack that does not count toward the limit of attacks per turn, and does not block the assassin's movement, but deals only 25% of the assassin's usual damage. If the attack is successful, the target suffers the Hieromorahage effect. At the beginning of each target's turn, they will suffer 7 rending damage that ignores armor and deflection. That's pretty good. Lethality. A specific assassin's parameter that is equal to dodge or dodge reductions, whichever is higher. One enemy creature within weapons range. Doesn't say if it's melee or ranged, though. Exclusive Shadow. For one round, the assassin becomes the lowest priority target for the enemy attacks and gains the elusive effects. The assassin can move through enemies. The assassin gains agility bonus dodge and per bonus dodge reduction. The assassin's attacks deal 10% additional damage. All half cover provides assassins 50% cover efficiency. Elusive fades when the assassin attacks. Okay. The assassin makes an enemy suffer 8% armor and -5 deflection until the end of the assassin's turn. If there's only one enemy adjacent to them, the assassin also gains 8% dodge until the assassin's next turn. If there are no enemies adjacent to the assassin, they gain 12% dodge reduction until the next turn. Okay, so that's a melee. The assassin dashes in a straight line for up to 3 cells, suffering -3 less damage from attacks of opportunity. and gaining 8% dodge against the enemies that they dash through until the next assassin's turn. The assassin has not dashed through any enemies. At the end of their turn they gain 12% cover efficiency to their cover until the assassin moves. Does not stack. The assassin's net single attack will have a minus 50% armor penetration penalty with a minimum of 0% armor penetration and 10 plus lethality. If it's a melee attack, the target rotates 180 degrees. The enemy's dodge and parry against the assassin's attack is equal to 0 until the start of the enemy's turn. If it is a range attack, the target is forced to move to the closest cell in 3 cell range with a no adjacent cover facing toward the assassin. This movement provokes attack of opportunity. This one is actually good. Killing Edge. We're gonna go with this one, because that's the only one I see a tactical use of. Let's see here. Every turn, the first use of an assassin ability costs 0. That's very good, we're taking that. Dispatch. The assassin makes an attack with the current weapon against the enemy. This attack cannot miss and deals plus 50% more damage than it also deals additional damage equal to 25% of the target's missing. What? Oh, missing wounds. Okay. So the more damage they have taken, the more damage they take. So this is pretty good. Dodge reduction, armor penetration, and parry reduction are doubled for this attack. Alright. This is gonna be a badass damage dealer. Let's see here. Ballistic skill, pretty high. We need to get that toughness up though. Pretty weak.
Know your duty.
Let's see here. Who's this? No one special, just a noble. Where do I have the map? I remember having a map.
Indeed. I've not seen many places that flaunt such luxury. If you were to scrape all the gilding from every temple on footfall, it would still be less than there is here.
What's this? Bomb.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
I didn't take the time to read that, so you'll have to pause.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
My pleasure.
The fountain is an expensive toy for the nobility. Pure water is currently bubbling from it, but additional pipes on it indicate the presence of separate siphons for sparkling wine and other beverages. Okay, a fountain of wine. Holy shit. The world of alcoholics. Let's see here.
A job for me.
The chapel is built out of luxurious materials, but the holy palace looks half abandoned. You cannot smell any burnt incense in the air, you see no seal of cleansing on the doors, and you hear no prayers, no human voice or vox recording. Alright.
Let us walk this path to the end.
What's this? Dried berries. Return to Void Ship. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We just got here.
And
out of the ordinary.
Sealed containers marked with the familiar insignia of the Munitorum and additional seals of a forged world unknown to you. The crate contain high-grade weapons likely made to order.